All right, we're about to dive into a discovery that totally flips the script on fitness. It turns out the secret to getting stronger, to having more endurance, might not be where we've all been looking.
You know that feeling, right? You start a new routine, you stick with it for a few weeks, and all of a sudden, that run feels just a little bit easier. You can go a little longer. But where do those gains actually come from? For decades, the classic story has been all about the body, right? Your muscles get stronger, your heart gets better at pumping blood, your lungs get more efficient at handling oxygen. And look, all of that is absolutely true. But it turns out that's not the whole picture, not even close.
Yeah, a really groundbreaking study has uncovered that the true mastermind, the real command center behind your fitness gains, it isn't in your chest or your legs. It's inside your head.
It seems our brains have this specialized group of cells that act like a personal fitness coach, coordinating exactly how our body adapts and gets better from exercise.
So let me introduce you to the star of the show today. These are the SF1 neurons. These tiny little cells hang out in a part of your brain called the hypothalamus, which is basically the master control panel for your body's energy. Think of them as central command for fitness.
Honestly, the best way to think about them is like your brain's own internal fitness coach. While you're out there huffing and puffing during a workout, they're on the sidelines, just observing, taking notes. But the real magic? That happens after you stop. That's when the coach gets to work, drawing up a whole new game plan, telling your body exactly how to rebuild to be stronger for next time.
Now, that's a really cool idea, right? But how in the world do we know it's actually true? Well, scientists designed this brilliant two-part experiment in mice to prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt.
So the logic here is pretty simple. If this fitness coach is really the one in charge, then what happens when you tell it to be quiet? If it's as essential as they thought, well, silencing it should bring all progress to a screeching halt.
So they took a group of mice and used a very, very precise genetic tool. Think of it like a molecular off switch that stopped these SF1 neurons from sending out their instructions. Then they put these mice on a 3-week training program, just like a control group.
And the results, which you can see right here on this chart, are, well, they're just staggering. The normal mice, they showed significant gains in endurance, exactly what you'd expect, but the mice with their SF1 neurons blocked, just look at that second bar. It's totally flat. They gained nothing.
I'm going to say that again because it is so important. Despite doing the exact same training as the other mice, their bodies made absolutely no adaptations. Zero. It was like they hadn't exercised at all. This is the crucial part. Without the brain's instructions, the physical work was basically useless for building endurance.
Okay, so this obviously leads to the next big question. If turning the coach off stops all progress, what happens if you give that coach a shot of espresso? What happens if you give it an extra boost?
So for the second part of the experiment, scientists use this amazing technique called optogenetics, where you can actually use light to give those SF1 neurons an extra jolt of activity. And here's the key. They did this for just 15 minutes immediately after each workout, right in that window when the coach is supposed to be drawing up its plans.
And the result? Unbelievable. The mice who got this little post-workout brain boost, their endurance gains were totally supercharged. They improved way more than the mice who just did the training alone.
As the researchers themselves put it, artificially activating these neurons right after a workout robustly enhances endurance. I mean, that's direct proof that the activity in this brain circuit is really the key that unlocks our fitness gains.
So we know the coach's instructions are absolutely vital, but the story gets even better. It turns out that exercise doesn't just use the coach, it actually makes the coach smarter.
Okay, this right here is where things get truly wild. On the screen, you're looking at 2 microscopic images of a neuron's dendrite. That's the part that receives all the signals. On the left, that's a neuron from a sedentary mouse. And on the right, that's from a mouse that trained for 3 weeks. Just look at the difference. See all those brand new little bumps and branches?
Yeah, those little bumps are called dendritic spines, and they're basically the connection points for all the incoming signals. And get this, regular exercise actually doubled the number of these connections on the SF1 neurons. It physically changed the brain's wiring.
I mean, think about that for a second. More connections means the coach is getting way better data from the body, and it can send out more precise, more effective instructions. Your brain isn't just sitting there, it is literally learning and physically rewiring itself to become better at managing exercise.
Okay, so let's pull all of this together.
What we're really looking at here isn't a one-way street from your muscles to your brain. No, it's a powerful, continuous feedback loop.
Yeah, this diagram just nails it. When you exercise, your body shoots signals up to these SF1 neurons in the brain. Then, in that super important recovery period after you stop, your brain crunches the numbers and sends new instructions back down, telling your body exactly how to adapt. And the more you train, the stronger this whole loop gets. The whole system becomes more efficient.
So what's the big takeaway here? What does this all mean for you? Well, first off, the real hard work of getting fitter, it's happening in the hours after your workout. And it's being directed by your brain. It means that fitness is just as much a neurological process as it is a physical one. Your brain is actively learning from every single workout. And this opens up a whole new frontier for how we might be able to enhance performance in the future.
So the next time you finish a really tough workout, just remember this. The session might be over for your body, but for your brain's fitness coach, the most important work is just getting started. And it leaves us with this powerful final thought. If exercise is a tool that can literally rewire our brains for performance, what else can it do?